Hello everyone, welcome to a new process video. I want to start out by saying that I recently kind of made a change here. I'm still doing 6x8. I'm still working on my photos from my trip over the summer, and I am working on Salzburg, Austria. But take a look at this new album. Originally I was using albums still 6x8, but from Simple Stories. The binder part of it, or the spine part of it, is quite a bit smaller than this. This is actually an album from Ali Edwards, and the spine is like a full inch bigger, if not more. I can't remember the exact measurement, but it's quite a bit larger. And I decided to switch to one of these because I was really having the fear that Salzburg and Vienna were going to have to be two different albums, making a total of 4 for my trip, and I didn't want to do 4. So I wanted 1 per country. So I think with this new one, I'm going to be able to fit both Salzburg and Vienna in one album. So I am extremely happy about that. With all of that being said about the new album, I'm ready to start on my next layout. So this is what I have here. This was the hotel that we stayed in Salzburg, and it was very old world. Sort of had that old world elegance and charm to it. So I definitely wanted to have some photos of it. So this was just in the lobby. We felt very fancy, but it wasn't really like that expensive or anything. So we were surprised. I took this was the cover of a little brochure they had at their front desk. And so I took that. I've already picked out the background paper. I want this because the color works well. And it says Austria. On the other side is just blank. I had a couple of papers that said Austria that were double-sided, but this one is just blank. So that's going to go over here, but I don't know what else I'm going to do with it. Other than that, I'm sure washi and some embellishments of some type. And then on this side, I'm just splitting this photo into 2 pockets, but there's lots of dead space. So I'm sure I'll add some things in here, maybe stamp, add some little ephemera or something there. And then I do want to talk a little bit about the hotel, because in addition to what you see here, the key that they gave us for our room, my friend and I had a little giggle in the elevator going upstairs about it. It literally was like this big, and it was like the heavy iron keys that you see like in castles and stuff. I mean, it was quite strange that like Salzburg is pretty modern. I mean, obviously it's old Europe, but it's become pretty modern. It's a hotel. We just did not expect getting that like super old-fashioned heavy key. And they actually encouraged you to check it at the desk if you left for the day so that you wouldn't carry it around because it was so heavy. So I want to tell that story probably here. If this isn't enough room, I might be able to work in something over here, but we'll see how it goes. The first thing I've done here is I've gone into my stash of many travel phrases. If you've watched any of my videos, you've seen me use them. And I went into the color scheme that I thought would work for this. And I've got 2 kind of colors I'm working with here. I've got this kind of almost melon color here, and then I've got more of a pink that comes here. And I want to work them both in so they feel cohesive, so they feel like they match. So I think I'm going to use the travel often phrase. I did find some others in this color, but they don't work for what I need here. All aboard doesn't work, you know, at the beach definitely doesn't work. So the color's great, but the phrases are wrong. So I can't use any of those. This is the only one that will really go. And then I found these 2, which I like both of them. One says don't forget, the other one says simple pleasures. And I thought maybe I could kind of bring those in on this side, but still not exactly sure how. But this is what I'm starting with at least. And then I'm also going to look probably for something that has a black element just to bring that together, because you can see a darker color on the chairs here, kind of, you know, miscellaneous things in the background. This is more dark brown on here, but little elements of black maybe that I could work in. So just something of that darker tone to bring it all together. In my stash of stuff, I also found this little chipboard piece. And while I like the idea of it, I don't know that it really goes. There's a little gray here. There isn't much here. This is just kind of an off-white. The street here is a little gray, but it's much lighter than this. So I don't think that this one is going to work here. And it almost looks a little too modern. I do know that I have pictures from the outside of my hotel in Vienna, which was way more modern looking than this. So I might be able to pull it off for that one. So I'm going to hang on to that for now. And I'm still looking with what's going to go on this layout. In my stash, I also keep a group of circular elements, and you're seeing some of those down here. In there, I found this one, which is more of the pink, but again, I think it's a little too modern with this center part. I don't know that that is appropriate, but I have this one, and it just says explore more, and it's kind of that light coral pink color. And I was thinking maybe I could tuck it in somewhere, do something with it. So I'm going to keep that one out as well. I found some more things in my stash that I think I'm going to incorporate here. I found this little postcard that says special delivery, and I think I'm just going to layer it over here in that dead space, and then it works with the pink that's here. I also found this that just says highlights, and it's in that pinky coral color again. So I think all of these things will match. I do think though maybe I need to find one more thing that's more of this melon color to work that in. I'm not sure what that is, but I do have ink that is that color. So if I had to, I could just use a blank label in whatever color I want, maybe the dark brown or black, and then stamp something there. I think I do have a stamp that even says Hotel Life or check-in at hotel or something like that in my travel stamps. So I'm going to look there next and see what I find. I did find the stamps that I was looking for, and it says Hotel Life, so I was right about that. This is from Felicity Jane from the Summer Set 2017. Not sure if this is still available, but that's what it's called in case you're interested in finding it. So I picked out a label, and I went with that more melon color that matches this. And I actually like that it has a little bit of that notebook pattern there just to bring in a different element. So I'm going to stamp on that. And then I'm going to try it two ways. I'm going to try it with just regular black, and then I'm going to try it with this dark brown and see which one I like better. So I'm going to do a little test piece first, and we'll just see which one I like. I did the test run. So this is the dark brown stamping once. This is when I stamped twice off the same ink. And then this is the black. And it's a subtle difference between the black and the dark brown, but I definitely like the dark brown better. So I'm going to stamp in the dark brown. This one is the Early Espresso by Stampin' Up. So I'm going to stamp with that onto the tag. When I was off camera, I decided to take care of this photo. So I layered this, put a mini staple in, and now that one's done. And then for this card, I found something else I want to use. I went back into those circular elements, and I found this. It just says, wow. And it's got that lighter pink, but also a darker one. And I think it would look nice right there. And then it speaks to our impression when we walked in. We said, wow, look how lovely this is. And then along with the key story, I think that might be a good way to present that story. So I'm going to use that one. And then I had been trying to work this in, and I don't like the way it looks after all. I just think, like, if I was going to tuck that under there or something, like, it's too close, the colors. So I'm probably not going to use that one. But I did go into my sticker books. I have several of these. And I found these that just say remember. And it's a nice pink. It's not perfectly matched to what this is, but I think it'll bring in more of this pink to this side because I've really got a lot of kind of orangey coral going on here. So I'm going to work in one of these along this right side, and oops, sorry. I bounced my camera there. And I'm just going to see how it looks. Hope it goes well. All right, so I've taken care of some things on the right-hand side. I put down all of these elements and layered them the way I wanted, and then I tucked the front of the brochure underneath this phrase and adhered to everything. So those are all attached. I am going to put in some mini staples here, or at least one. I'm going to do this one for sure, and I'll see what I think here. I think maybe one is enough. I don't know that I need one here, especially with this sticker overlap, so I'll probably leave that for now. I feel like it's a little flat though because I have this bright shiny thing over here and then very flat over here. So I think I might go into my gold stars maybe and find a little something that I could layer over here. I'm not sure what else I would do, but I know I have some gold sparkly stars, so I'm going to start with those. So I've gotten my sparkly stars here. These are foam, by the way. And I think white would be okay because there's white over here, a little bit of white here. So and then there are stars here as well to indicate the star rating for the hotel. So I wondered if maybe white would be okay, but I do have the gold as well. And I think it would be okay given this lamp chandelier thing here. So I'm just going to play around with it a little bit and see which one appeals to me more. I decided to go with the white stars, and I did a visual triangle. So I have one here overlapping this element. I added one to this layered area, and then I added one here as well. So then they're nice and evenly spaced, and there's a triangle happening. And when I look at this, I think this is done. Because this background paper is so busy, I don't want to add too much more here, and I want people to be able to read the front of this brochure. And then I'll also have journaling here that's going to ground everything. And so I think with this one, this is probably it. So thanks for watching, everyone.